Hello everybody and welcome back. This is part 3 of my Tyranid Dataslate overviews, I guess. Still haven't really come up with a name for these things. Okay, so it's the beginning of April, and this past weekend the Rising Leviathan Part 3 Tyranid Onslaught came out. Now, I never did a follow-up for the second part, but I'm going to go into a little bit of that at the beginning here. Well, not at the beginning. Later, I'm going to go into my thoughts on that one as well as my thoughts on this one, because you'll see. Okay, so let's just jump right in. If you've seen my other videos, you know what's going to happen here. Okay, so hang on just a second. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, so we're going to jump right in here with the first formation. Now again, these are all Tyranid exclusives, you know, so no surprises there. So the first one we got is the Bioblast node. Now this consists of one Tyranid warrior brood, 3 Carnifex broods, and 1 Tyrant. Now this is a trend I noticed a little bit in the last one, and it's kind of dominant in this one as well. There are, I think, 2 formations in this that required, as well as what, 2 or 3 in the last one, that require you to take a brood of warriors. So they're really trying to tell you, hey, you need to take Tyranid warriors, but they're not giving you any bonuses to them. So they just, I guess, because all these formations can work on their own because they all have synapse. So whatever. But anyway, okay. So like I said, 1 brood of warriors, 3 broods of Carnifexes, 1 Tyrant. It doesn't say like a limit on the Carnifex broods, so they can be 1 to 3. You know, okay. The restrictions are that the warrior brood has to include a model that has taken an item from the basic biocannon list, and Carnifex models in this formation must have taken at least 1 monstrous biocannon. So you got to take shooty guys, you know. And then the special rule for the formation is called Bioblast, yeah, whatever. The units in this formation have the split fire special rule, and in addition, models that are in this formation that are within 12 inches of the warrior brood can reroll to hit or to wound rolls of 1 in the shooting phase. So that's cool. Split fire is only going to come up if you have more than 1 Carnifex in the broods. Well, and of course, you know, the warriors themselves, just because I reread the split fire rules, and it's kind of iffy on whether or not one model can shoot 2 different things, like your monstrous creatures, if it has split fire, if it can shoot at different things with its 2 sets of shots. I'm inclined to say no, but I read something on a couple forums, and the wording does kind of open itself up so you could fight it. I'm not going to play it that way, like the Tyrant having its thorax weapon shoot at one thing and its acid spray shoot at another, whatever, or a DAC effects shooting 6 shots at one target and 6 shots at the other, you know. But anyway, so there's that formation. It's not bad, but I just don't see myself playing it too much, you know. Just because, I don't know, you'd have to bunch your stuff up, and I mean, your Carnifexes are going to be running Devourers, so they're going to have 18-inch range, and you've got to keep the models within 12 inches of the warriors, who can just get picked out, and then the whole formation falls apart anyway, you know. So, and it's a lot of points again. It's like the Sky Slasher thing. It's a lot of points, even minimum. I mean, you're talking minimum squad with Death Spitters, warriors, 3 of them. You're talking 105 points, 450 for 3 DAC effects in single broods, and then, oh, hang on a second. Okay, and we're back. We have a new baby, by the way, so I might be breaking occasionally for that. But anyway, like I was saying, you know, after the Tyrant effects, and you're talking at 700 to 750 points minimum for this brood, and that's with just 3 Carnifexes. So I don't know, I'm not feeling it that much. Okay, so the second, but I'll have to test it though. I mean, it could be good. Okay, so the second one is very similar to this, and it's the Wrecker node. Now this one I think they kind of missed an opportunity on, but I'm kind of glad they did. The Wrecker node consists of 1 brood of Tyranid warriors and 3 Carnifex broods. Now, I kind of thought that in this case, this would be a place where they'd say, okay, you take, because in the last one they had the Exocrine, both the Flyers, and they got the Tyrant effects. They had one for the, they have one for Hive Tyrants, a couple for Hive Tyrants, and then they have like the Brood last, or the Formation in the last book that had the Turvagon. I didn't like it, but so. But this, I kind of expected this because it's a melee one. I kind of expected the Harspec to show up and maybe get a bit of a buff, but he didn't. So, but it's just 1 brood of warriors, 3 broods of Carnifexes, and none of them can take biocannons. So they've all got to be melee. And their formation rules are that Carnifex in this formation inflict D3 plus 1 Hammer of Wrath hits instead of D3. In addition, models that are in this formation within 12 inches of the Tyranid Warrior Brood can reroll to wound rolls of 1 during the assault phase. So basically the same, it's the same idea as the shooty one, but with just Carnifexes. So I kind of imagined that there would be something in here like this, and I thought the Harspec would get thrown in like 1 Harspec. But they didn't, which I'm kind of surprised. I expected, it would have made this formation even, worse. I like it, but I don't know. I just don't know if those reroll ones to wound are going to be worth it if you have to lug these warriors along with you. And melee melee in general is already kind of weak. So, and a Carnifex gets melee is going to do a lot of damage anyway. Okay, so all in all, not real impressed. I would just run the Carnifexes on their own. They're already going to do enough damage. The extra 1 Hammer of Wrath hit's not going to do a lot anyway. I really wish the Hammer of Wraths had an AP value. But what are you going to do? Okay, so that's the 2 Carnifex broods, basically. Carnifexes are still good this edition. I still wish I could run melee ones, but maybe 7th edition will help. Melee is just too weak to really justify it, except for Hormagaunts. I run an obscene amount of Hormagaunts just because they're so cheap. Anyway, okay, so the third formation is the Tyrant node. The Tyrant node requires you to take 1 Hive Tyrant, 1 brood of Tyrant Guard, and 1 Venom Throat brood. The Hive Tyrant cannot get wings, and the Tyrant Guard must be 3 models in a squad. So, okay, it doesn't have a restriction on the Venom Throat, so you could just have 1, you could have 3, whatever. Now, the only special rule this formation has is that it adds 6 inches to the Hive Tyrant synapse range. Awful. You have a psychic power that does that. It's the Primaris, and you have, Norn Crown, which will do that, and you also have a Warlord trait that does that. So, in theory, if you took this formation, got the Norn Crown, traded in for Dominion power, and also rolled the 6-inch, you'd have what, 20, 30, 36-inch synapse range? Okay. But here's the thing. This doesn't add anything. One, who's realistically taking walking tyrants? You can, but this says Hive Tyrant. If you could take Swarmlord in this, which it does, you can't. If you could take the Swarmlord in this, it'd be pretty cool. Maybe. Because if you're taking the Swarmlord, you're taking 2 or 3 Tyrant Guard with him anyway, and the Venom Throats would be good just to give him cover, so he, give everything to make him survive. But it doesn't let you do that. It's going to be real expensive, and by taking it, you're not allowing yourself to take a Flyrant in the place of that. Now, it does give you an opportunity to take a 4th Venom Throat brood, but other than that, it's not a good, I don't see the reason for it. Yeah, has Synapse, the penalties for not having Synapse are bad, but has Synapse really been a problem? I haven't made hardly any Synapse tests, unless I was just losing the game terribly at this point. Synapse just hadn't been a big problem for me. Okay. The next brood is the Subterranean Swarm. Now, I kind of expected a lot from something. I knew there would be something like this in this Dataslate. I kind of thought this would be in the second one, not in the last one, but whatever. Okay, so the Subterranean Swarm consists of a Trigon Prime, a Trigon, a Moloch, and 3 Ravener broods. There are no restrictions, so the sizes of the broods can be whatever. So you can get whatever upgrades you want on the big guys, and the Ravener broods can be however big you want. You don't have to give them the extra guns, you can, whatever. So, okay, and the special rule is they came from below. All units in the formation must be placed in reserves, and you only make a single reserve roll for the entire formation. When it arrives, the Trigon Prime gets deployed first by Deep Strike using its Subterranean Assault rule. Once the Trigon Prime has been established, or its place has been established, the formation's 3 Ravener broods immediately enter play. They have to be, all the models have to be wholly within 6 inches of the Trigon Prime's base and in unit coherency. These models cannot be placed within 1 inch of an enemy model or within impassable terrain, normal stuff. If any of them can't be placed, the excess models are removed as casualties. The Ravener broods cannot move in the movement phase or charge in the same turn they arrive, but can shoot or run. And the Trigon and the Moloch enter play from Deep Strike as usual. Okay, so with that in mind, the Trigon and the Moloch are just attacks. They don't get any special rules. The Trigon Prime doesn't either, but the Trigon Prime is part of the special deployment for Raveners, so we'll give it that. But the Trigon and the Moloch don't get anything extra. Trigons are pretty terrible for me so far. I mean, Moloch's great, but Trigons I have not had good luck with in this edition. So that's an expensive tax. I mean, a Trigon and a Moloch is a lot of points for both of those. Even just Bear, but so you're paying a pretty expensive tax for not scattering on the Raveners, but all the models have to be within 6 inches of the Trigon Prime's base, so you're not going to want really big broods because they're not going to fit, and those that do fit are all going to be bunched up, so you're going to get to run, but how many times have you gotten a 1 inch run roll and just sat there? But all in all, I expected you to be able to Deep Strike and maybe the Raveners be able to assault or something like that, but they can't, and that's awful. I mean, again, I don't see a point in this formation. Plus, I don't own enough Raveners because I own 0. I own no Raveners, so my fast tech has always been just gargoyles, and then now it's gargoyles and flyers. So, okay. Now the last formation is a joke. It's the Living Tide. You will never play this unless you're playing Apocalypse, in which case, who cares? Apocalypse is just a throw together anyway. Who needs a formation? But anyway, here it is. The Living Tide consists of 1 Tyrant node. That's the one from this one with the Hive Tyrant, the Venomthrope, and the guards. 1 Synaptic Swarm from Rising Leviathan 2. That's the other one with the Hive Tyrant. 3 Endless Swarms. Okay, from Part 2. 1 Record Node. That's the melee Carnifexes in this one. And 1 Skyblight Swarm, which is like 900 points minimum, something like that. So, you need 1 Tyrant Node, 1 Synaptic Swarm, 1 Skyblight, 1 Record Node, and 3 Endless Swarms. So I can't remember the minimum points. I added this up. It's over 3K minimum. I mean, it's so many points. Okay. So anyway, the special rules. What do you get for that? Okay, all units in this formation must adhere to the restrictions of each formation itself. They have all of their normal special rules from the formations, and then they get these. They get fear. Everything in the formation causes fear. That's kind of funny. Fear sucks, but there you go. And fear sucks because no one is, 80% of the armies don't care. They're either fearless, have and they shall know no fear, or have leadership 10, or are Tau and Imperial Guard who suck in melee already anyway, so who cares? Anyway, so the other formation special rules are Synaptic Command Network. As long as the Hive Tyrant from the Tyrant Node formation has not been removed as a casualty, then all other Synapse creatures in the formation that are within its Synapse range add 6 inches to its own Synapse range. So, when I first read that, I didn't read the part about it being within the Hive Tyrant Synapse range. I just thought they got 6 inches added, and I was like, that's kind of cool, but it's going to be a huge game anyway. But so you're going to have to bunch everybody up, and if you're playing this many points, people are going to have super heavies, and then be dropping huge pie plates on you and killing everything anyway. Okay. And the other special rule is the Swarm Unleashed. As long as the Hive Tyrant from the Tyrant node formation has not been removed as a casualty, you can re-roll failed results when rolling to see if Termagants, Hormagaunts, or Gargoyle broods from this formation that have been completely destroyed are replaced, like the the Endless rule, whatever it's called in the other formations. So what's going to happen? They're just going to kill the Hive Tyrant, and then all you get from this formation is fear. Cool. Useless. So there you go. That's all of it. So with that in mind, you can tell I'm not nearly as excited about this one as I was part 2. So let's go into this a little bit. Okay. What is good in this book, or in this add-on? I would say the Carnifex, Tyrannofex formation, the Bioblast node. I like that. Very situational, though. The split fire rule is almost never going to come up, just because, unless they FAQ it, say that a monstrous creature can split fire at 2 targets himself. I don't think they will, but, whatever. But that lets you take 4 heavy sport choices outside of Force Org. It gives you a lot of shooting, and if you only take 3, Carnifexes, having 3 Carnifexes, like single broods of 1, or 3 broods of 1, just around the warriors, and they've got 2 sets of Twin Link Devourers. You're re-rolling to hits, hitting on 4s, 12 shots, so you're hitting on 9, 10 of them usually, with my luck, and then wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s. So you're going to hit with most of those. That's a lot of firepower you can throw out. So I do like that one. If melee was better, I would like the Wrecker nodes, or if Carnifexes had a way to get to melee quicker. I like that one. I'm not a big fan of that one right now, though. The Hive node, or the Tyrant node, is just, the benefit is not worth the penalties. Not being able to take a Winged Tyrant, having to take 3 guards, they're expensive. The Subterranean Swarm, no. You have to take a Trigon and a Moloch, and they don't get anything bonus, and the Trigon Prime didn't get anything, and you have to take Raveners, who are questionable at best right now, and the Living Tide is not worth mentioning. Okay, so what is that? How does that leave us? So so close that out. Okay, so this one was a big disappointment. The first one was kind of with the with the Gene Stealers. They were working with Gene Stealers and Lictors, and these things are already having problems with the rules. So that was good. I like that book based on, that Dataslate based on just what it was. It was decent. Second one, amazing. I love it. I feel the endless. I'm going to do a video about second thoughts on that one here before too long, but I just haven't had a chance yet, baby. So things have been busy. But anyway, Endless Swarm, great. Love it. I've been taking 3 squads of 20 Hormagaunts with adrenal glands, so I can pop vehicles with them. 2 broods of 30 Termagants, so that I unlock 2 Tervagons as my mandatory troops, and then of course a minimum squad of warriors, just to get the formation kind of filled out. Love it. It's been working great. Skyblight, I got to field once. I had to proxy the other Harpy because I have 1 Hive Crone and 1 Harpy, but it's cool. I mean, I've only got 30 Gargoyles, so I had 3 groups of 10, but I think I had 5 or 6 squads destroyed, and they just kept coming back. At the end of the game, I think I was on my 8th squad, and every one of them that died came back. And they're great. I mean, they're so fast, and being able to deny objectives from opponents. It was really good. It's a lot of points, though, and you have to take Harpies. I wish you got the option of Harpies or Crones, because I like Crones better. But, yeah. I kind of wish it was just 1 Harpy and 1 Crone, not 2 Harpies. That extra 140 points is... I mean, it's a tipping point, really. But anyway, so it's good. Haven't really... Oh, and the one with the Exocrine, or the Exocrine and the Biovores is really good. I really like that one. Haven't played too much with the other 2, but I didn't really care for them anyway. Now, going into that, the third one, I expected it to be decent, but I knew they were working with some units that it was going to be difficult. I'm surprised, though. There's nothing in here to make horror specs better. Not even, even throwing them in, trying to make them better. Even if they gave them a bad formation, they're not in here. There's nothing in here about pyrovores, who I really expected. What are they called? Rippers. I'm blanking on rippers. I really expected ripper swarms. I really expected hardspecs and pyrovores to be in here. I really thought there was going to be like a pyrovore, maybe acid spray, Tyrant kind of formation. I'm surprised they didn't do that. But those three things don't show up in this book or in this Dataslate at all. And they're arguably three of the worst things in the Codex. Hardspecs, pyrovores, and rippers. They're three of the worst things in that book. Just because they're just, the pyrovores have a heavy flamer. The hardspec isn't real good in melee. I still think he's got some misprints, like he's supposed to be better than he really is. But I expected them to at least try and throw him in here to maybe sell some more models. But they don't even make an appearance. And plus, they threw in an Apocalypse formation. It's just lazy. And that Hive Node thing in here is just not good. I mean, no incentive is the real thing. The two formations with Carnifexes, I'll probably see some play. But the Subterranean Assault, Subterranean Swarm, even if I had Raveners, I probably wouldn't play it. Just because you have to. If it let you pick, like if you could take the Trigon and the Trigon Prime and 2 Molochs, and then Raveners, maybe. But that other Trigon is just going to be a big point sink, and he's not going to do much. So, all in all, pretty disappointed in this one. Aside from the Carnifexes, and just because I have a sweet spot for Carnifexes. But even those, the fact that you've got to clump up your guys around the Warrior Brood to get the bonuses does not make it good enough, because you're already wounding with both of those formations most of the time on 2s. So yeah, getting the rerolls to 1, nice, because that probably means all of your hits are going to wound. But, is it worth having to take all those extra warriors? I don't think so. But, okay, so that is my overview of Part 3. Now, they aren't doing a Part 4. At least, not that I know of. I don't think there's anything at the end here. Let me reopen this and see. But I don't think there's anything at the end of this as far as coming soon. Of course, there wasn't a coming soon last time either. Nope. At the end of it, it just has catch up on the first installment, and it's got an ad for the first one. So, no. I'm pretty sure this is over. They advertised it as a 3-part series. That's 3 parts. The third part was pretty awful. If you see something I'm missing, maybe a hidden gem, let me know. But aside from really the Bioblast node, I'll use that. Just because most of them I'm already fielding that anyway. Short of the Warrior Brood, which I can throw a Warrior Brood in. They've been working out pretty good for me. So anyway. Okay, so that'll do it for this video. Hopefully as some more time frees up, I'm going to try and do just some general tactica of the Tyranid Codex, since I've gotten a lot of games in now. Kind of like a follow-up to my whole army overview. And I am going to get some more detailed into this after I play it some, and Part 2. I'll probably just lump those together in one video. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.